Hello everyone. Welcome to our Butterfly Magic Store YouTube channel. We have a fantastic guest today. We have Giancarlo. We're very fortunate to have him here in Prague with us. He did a fantastic, phenomenal workshop yesterday for 10 of our Czech magicians. It was a lot of great stuff. I don't know how much they were able to take in, but I would like to talk about your special and for me very inspirational way of performing magic and how you got there, why you do everything as well as you do. um, and yeah, so that's for you. This is going to be an interview with Giancarlo about why you should be like Giancarlo. Because that's the way to live magic.
No,
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, firstly. Hello. Um, First, tell us a little bit about the classic, your beginnings. So, how did you get into magic?
Yeah, I got very, very young. Maybe I was 5 years old, and I discovered a beautiful magic shop in Rome. And there I had the luck to meet a wonderful person who started to transmit me a lot of passion and love for magic. He was really, and he is, I mean, a very magical character. Is Paco Valente. Hi, Paco Valente. Hi, Paco. He's still a good friend, of course. He was like my first mentor. And the beautiful thing that he transmits me is like the joy to play, with magic. And probably he understood my interest, or my more than interest, like obsession with magic very early. And so he started like to give me a lot of material, very like advanced maybe material since the beginning, to maybe to challenge me, but for sure for me it was a good challenge, and I learned like pretty fast thanks to him. One of the first thing I was learning after having bought like a couple of basic tricks, like cups and balls or some other plastic tricks, but beautiful, of course. I started with card manipulation, with the videotapes of by Jeff McBride.
Of course.
So Jeff McBride was my like first like international magician I saw, and I started with card manipulation. Then of course I discovered close-up magics, and was a beautiful adventure, of course, also because he permitted in one moment when I was maybe 7 or 8, he let me go behind the counter, also to to show like the tricks I was practicing, to
really
people,
cool.
to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
customers, for
yeah.
clients. And so yeah, was beautiful.
Great.
Thanks to Paco.
So,
I think the beginning was very strong. Yeah.
and I also like what you said that he taught you or showed you how to play with magic,
Yeah.
right? Because that to me feels like this is kind of your way of doing magic.
Yeah,
You just
yeah, yeah.
play with it, and it
Yeah.
looks like you are just you're not persona that performs.
Mm.
You are someone who plays not only with magic but also with the audience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So is that something that is like specific to you? Something that you like do consciously?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, of course, I have the luck to be friends, and during time to meet a lot of incredible magicians that for me, of course, are great inspiration, and like a reference for me, And so when I'm fascinating about a person or a magician, an artist, I try to understand why I'm fascinated. What is the part of his personality, or his art, that is resonating in me.
Right.
I say, maybe I love the how he thinks about the creative part, or how he performs, or what is special in each one. And so I think that finally the I was maybe thinking in some way. I say, why these characters, like certain characters, are so fascinating. And the common thing was for me the freedom, the sense of freedom, and the sense of play, the sense of ease. But what is ease in magic? For me, ease comes from freedom, no? Because really, when you feel free, or when you see an artist which transmit you freedom and the sensation we are talking about, like to play together, to play freely, because when we play, we are free.
Right.
This is
Right.
true. And so this is I try to maybe uh, how to say, explore these facts. Also,
Mm-hmm.
of course, always talking with people, trying to understand what I do together, and this, yeah, this is the most important for me. Yeah.
So you said that you are trying to find some like magicians and analyze
Hmm.
what you like, why you like
Yeah.
what they're doing. So who were your like the first heroes or the ones that you really liked and you analyzed?
Yeah. Yeah. Since when I was very young, for example, I remember the few impacts, like seeing some style, performing style, for example, by Leonard Green.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Green, incredible. The first time I saw him in videotapes, I was completely shocked. You know? I say, wow, this is so interesting. This is so different. Uh, David Williamson, Tom Mullica, you know, all this kind where really you see freedom. You know? You see the really the pleasure of expressing
That's
themselves through this moment. You know? But then, for example, when I met Danny personally, Danny da Ortiz, no, of course, meeting a great character such Danny, person like live. I mean, person and becoming his friends for me was completely life changing because I could feel really the energy, like physically, you know, because something is imagining, seeing through a videotapes is good, okay, the image, but the other different experiences to have the person there, you know, and so you really perceive this aura, you perceive this energy, you know, you say, what is going on with this guy? And for me, trying to understand like why I was so impressed uh, with Danny, no, I learned many things about magic, about myself,
right.
about how can how can I reach this freedom? Because for me, Danny is one of the main characters that express completely freedom, no,
Absolutely.
complete freedom, no, and maybe after years of like trying to understand with physically trying to understand physically, I understood this concept, no,
Mm.
and I mean, I understood pretty deeply. Of course, for me, magic is always learning, so I didn't understood com- completely because magic is so complex that you can continue your whole life trying to understand, and but the concept of freedom for me it's fundamental.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks that way because, of course, Leonard,
yeah,
Tom Mullica, and David Williamson, they all are like just free out there.
yeah,
And now, so these are Sweden and America. And
yeah,
then now we're coming to Spain, which is
yeah,
Danny.
yeah,
And now we know you eventually moved to Spain.
yeah, yeah,
How, tell us about the transition. Why did you decide
yeah.
to come from Italy to Spain?
Yeah.
Who brought you there? How you got there?
Yeah, yeah. It's finally it's like combination of situation that happen in life, and really it comes from like a desire to continue learning because at one point I got interested into the circus world. Okay, in Rome, I entered like into a circus group. You know, we had a space to train, and so I start to meet many artists of various circus disciplines, and of course we were learning from each other. I was starting to learn, so I was like completely new, you know, and I
Uh-huh.
see great artists like, and I say, wow, it's amazing to have all these skills, no, and to have the skills really in your body. I mean, so really you are the tool. No, I don't know. You are the that was very fascinating, no? And to be able to perform with only your body. I mean, like wow, no? I understood skill in a different way, in somehow. And so after that, I started to to study or to learn acrobatics, you know, in a circus, a little circus
Like
school.
what way? Acrobatics, like physical,
Yeah,
like
physical
big,
yeah,
like
acrobatics. Yeah,
gymnastics,
yeah, gymnastic, acrobatic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like one
Also
of
because
those.
I always love to work with my body, you know. I
Okay.
always love martial art and so all this kind of thing like acrobatics. And then being more inspired because we were organizing shows and I say, wow, I want to have really the good tools, you know, to perform in that way. I don't know. I felt like I needed some more tools to express myself in some way. No, and so I searched in Italy with some circus school, and I realized that in the north of Italy, in Turin, there were very nice circus school. And so finally, talking with people, searching for a circus school, I discovered a physical theater school with some circus discipline. I say, okay, this is interesting. Theater, physical theater, circus, okay. And so I started to study physical theater, okay, the Jacques Lecoq pedagogy, okay. In Italy, with a very big master, direct student of Jacques Lecoq, Philippe Radice.
So that was like 3 years or
2 years, yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, the pedagogy is 2 years, and of course, the theater schools always change, because you start to discover a lot about yourself, something that you never saw before about yourself, and so of course it moves you a lot, studying theater and also working with your body, because you understand a lot of awareness about everything. And so there I say, okay, I really want to do this. Like in my life, I want to try to express myself through art. Okay, and so it was the moment where I said, okay, maybe it's a good choice to move somewhere else, because I knew that if I moved somewhere else where I didn't have anything, I didn't knew anyone, I was like more like with more energy to start over, no, like a little bit going out from the comfort zone or something like that, no. So I say, okay, I want to move into a different country with different language, with different everything. I want to like start again, like with this impulse, with this energy. And so I was thinking about which country, and meanwhile I met already some Spanish magician, like Dani, like Juan Luis Rubiales, like Miguel Angel Gea. And so I was speaking with them, I was sharing experiences with them, and I say, okay, maybe Spain is the right place for me in this moment. So I moved to Madrid, and there I study again in a theater school, again with the same pedagogy, but also complementing with mime, okay, physical theater and mime. And meanwhile, of course, I was meeting new magician, because in Madrid the atmosphere is incredible. There are a lot of magicians. It's very easy to meet magician, to share time with magician. And so I was meeting a lot of people there in Madrid, and of course, thanks to Dani and Paco Rodas. I mean, I think that Dani and Paco Rodas are the people that helped me the most at the start. They, how do you say? They received me. I mean, Paco Rodas received me almost like a son or something, and so they helped me a lot. Danny was inviting me to travel with him and to perform in his shows. Of course, being close to these great references was also a very big impulse for me to find my own style, because I was at start. I say, what do I have to do in like when Danny invited me to perform in his show? What can I do? Like, what is my style? No, what can I offer after this, like such a great character? No, and so for me this was a lucky, because it was for me the impulse to start searching and say, yeah, I have to offer something different, but little by little, no, of course, little by little, and I start to connect more and more and more with other magicians, and finally with the magic community, and so I'm still there. I'm still in Madrid. I'm very happy. It's my place now. No, and I have my people over there. Yeah.
And what I really like as well is because being so close to Danny, it must be very easy to wanting to kind of be like Danny. I know a lot of people who are around Danny who perform like Danny. Right?
Yeah.
Because his phrases, everything is so like catchy and so on.
Yeah.
So, and you don't even want to,
Yeah.
and you start being like Danny in a way.
Yeah. No, it's true, because it's so fascinating, and he's so charismatic, no? That and also because he expressed this desire of freedom, and so he say, I want to be free like him. I want. I mean, that is amazing. Really, for me the sensation, the message he expressed through his magic are amazing, and are like the major desire of the human being in some way. Freedom, everything is possible, with no effort. amazing stuff happens, no?
Yes,
Like
yes.
no stress, and everything goes like the best way it can go. No, these are for me the message that creates so great fascination in Danny and Danny's magic. And of course, at the beginning, and he still is one of my biggest idol in magic. Of course, like a master, I really will thank him for the rest of my life for everything he's done for me. But of course, at the beginning, I wanted to understand Danny's weapons or Danny's techniques or Danny, and so of course I had to copy Danny. I had to copy, no, to understand the techniques, the
Right, of course.
weapons, all his strategies, no, and so of course I started experimenting with his style, and then little by little I said, okay, I don't feel comfortable really doing this. I also performing with Danny and performing with people close to Danny also forced me to try to not copy Danny because everybody
Of
could
course,
understand
yeah.
because they say, he spent with Danny, he's like a little Danny,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Uh-huh.
And so for me also was a lack like this change of point of view to say, yeah, okay, I'm copying Danny, I have to be careful because there is already Danny here.
Right, of
I
course.
don't need to copy him
Yeah.
because there is already him doing his magic. I mean, I don't need to do the same. No? It's better if I find something that really make me feel comfortable. And so I was copying him, and little by little. Uh, I don't know how, but it's always I don't know how.
Okay.
Danny, get out of me. No, but maybe I don't know.
He
No,
figured it.
but anyways, no, little by little, always trying to be more aware and very sincere with myself and putting myself in doubt 1,000 times and with Christ and with whatever. Like in life, you understand who you are more or less, or you start to understand because you never understand who you are. Little by little, you always be more aware and more aware. But finally, now I use a lot of elements by Danny. I mean, I do a lot inspired by Danny.
Hmm.
Technically, uh, many things, but I try to, of course, use them as my weapons, but with my personality and with my point of view and with my style or what makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing because when I see you perform,
Mm.
I don't see Danny. I see
Mm.
like you use psychological force quite a bit, right,
Yeah.
and so on. But your style
Mm.
is you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
Danny. I think it also comes from like the theater studies and the circus
Yeah.
because you formed um, a lot before you started
Mm-hmm.
performing with Danny, I
Yeah.
think. And now you mentioned um, that probably from the physical theater comes your interest in movement,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of your expression of freedom.
Mm.
Um, this concept of not like you do a lot of moves,
Yeah.
but you put everything into movement.
Yeah.
Now, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. 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 It's quite complex. Maybe this is uh, I mean, it's very complex topic, but it has to do with many different things because when we perform magic or when we play with magic, we are playing or we are handling multiple realities at the same time. Of course, there is the reality that the audience is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
No, there is the hidden reality with all our secrets and methods, everything that the people they don't see. And so, for me, of course, when we do magic, everything is interacting. No, because of course the experience is only for the audience,
Right.
but to give this experience, there is a lot of technique. I'm not talking about digital technique. There is all kind of technique, expression, being aware of the space, how you relate to people, how you handle the dynamic of the performance, the rhythm, and of course there are also like the secrets, no, the secrets move to accomplish the impossible, no. And for example, one thing that I was inspired by, of course, observing Danny, and also by the great master Gabriel Moreno that I knew thanks to some of his like student or some people that taught a lot about his thinking. We are Miguel Munoz, Miguel Angel Gea, Willie Morrow, and I discovered this conception of the technique, which has many incredible concepts, but a lot of attention to the tension, to the movement, to how you design the move. So you have to do as less as possible, almost nothing. No, you so the move happen by itself. And to do this, I understood, thanks to Miguel Munoz, for example, the idea of preparing the situation before the move. So when you get to the move, the work is already done. And so I understood that everything it's more important for me the external movement than the little technique. No? Of course, this is also necessary, but I try always to fuse the move and the movement. No, for this, for me, it's interesting. I found in English. It only works in English and maybe in a few language. Uh, that's instead of thinking about a move, I think about movement. No, because so when it fuses, the little what you're hiding is so little that it dissolves completely into the external movement. No, right. So you don't have to hide a lot, because if you think only in like digital moves, you have to hide a lot, and when you hide, you have to work a lot more, because you have to give this. We are playing with two realities that are more different. No, you're not hiding anything. You are completely free, but inside, you need your stuff. But if you design the move in a different way, you have to hide much less. You feel more free, and also the audience. I mean, you can share a more relaxed experience with the audience. Relaxed doesn't mean that we have all to stay like this, but relaxed is harmony. Harmony can be in many style of art, no, not only in the beauty. Okay. Let's see, no.
Now, focusing on movement but not on the move. Yeah. The whole concept might be a little difficult to understand just talking about it. Is there anything, I know we're limited with the space and movement wise, but is there any example you could give us how you approach a move, but from the perspective of movement, either with coins or cards? Because I know there's something that you do that I see a lot of magicians not doing. And that is that, there are some moves, either coin moves or card manipulations, that to most magicians seems natural. Like, this is the way it's done, and nobody can see it because this is the way the master taught it.
Yeah.
Right? But I know that you look very critically on every move, and you can see, well, this, I just can see that something's happening there. And you take that move and you kind of deassemble it, disassemble it, and then put it back together, but from the point of view of the motion. Do you have something that you could show?
Something I could show? First, maybe it's easier to understand that, if we dissect a technique, there are many elements, no? For example, if you want to palm a card, can we say palm?
Of course.
Okay. Palm.
Palm tree, you mean? Palm tree.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to palm a card, no? There are certain, in some of the techniques, there are sequences of movement, no? So maybe you have to move the card in a certain position with some finger, no? And then you have to adjust the hand so it fits into the hand, and then in some way you have to maybe open and close the hand to get hold of the card, no? And then there are the relaxation or whatever. And so these are many elements, no? You move the card, you open the finger, you close this. And so, for example, you can do this all together, no? And so there's a lot of work to do, and you have to hide a lot, no? Maybe with this direction, or with the right angle, or whatever, okay? But most of the time you are forced to hold a certain position for like a short or long period of time to accomplish all this work, no? But for example, if you understand these elements and you say, can I, for example, prepare this little situation in one moment, then pause, and then do the second step a little bit, Now pause, do a movement, do a gesture, and do the third one. So you are working little by little, okay? And finally, the work is a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So you never have to work a lot. No? I can show. Can we
Please.
reveal magic in this channel?
Yes, totally.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make a deck of cards appear.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's this is. I didn't know I could do that.
I didn't know you
Yeah.
could do it.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
I don't know how natural that was, but it looked pretty,
Yeah.
especially to us here, like at
Yeah.
the table. Okay,
Uh,
the example.
for example, simple idea. Okay, when we are talking about the palm, can I show? Are you sure I can show secret? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Usually, to palm a card, you have to move and do a certain kind of action, no? Okay. But for example, there is an idea by, for example, Cliff Green, which is to palm the bottom card first to prepare the card, okay, and then in a second moment to take the deck, and so the card goes. Okay,
Right.
this is it's a good example, no? You split the movement, okay, so you work a little bit here. Now maybe you do a gesture, say, "Could you help me? What's your name?" Whatever, no? And so already you start to understand like how to prepare something, and of course through a choreography of movement, because if you do only like this gesture and gesture, but what's happening in the present, no? I started to think about this, and so later you say, okay, I like this concept. How many ways can I get this card to this position? Okay, many ways. Okay, for example, depending on where is the deck, no, I could, for example, wait a second, this mat is it's complicated. Okay, and you have the card, for example, no?
Very, very cool.
Okay. Wow.
I'm full of suitcase.
Okay. And for example, in this case, you see that I don't I don't stop here. I don't
Yes.
stop. They say, oh, this is a beautiful concept. How can I get to this position now? In life, I mean, there are many moments where you can do many different actions. In this moment, maybe I want to pick up the spread, and so I use this card, and so I prepare this card. It's already in the position, and so I don't have to do anything because I just have to put the deck here.
Amazing.
And it's done, for
Amazing.
example. So you see that I have to hide less because I try to do everything openly. I don't even have to hide this movement, but I can do it openly. For example, with the same action, just like this.
Yes.
Okay?
Great.
And so you understand, you say, now I understand that I can do this with the deck spread. Can I do it, for example, when I have the deck in this position in the hand, for example, no? I can move the card and maybe say, you already shuffle, can you shuffle a little more? And you prepare. So finally, I don't see technique like a block, but I understand the concept. And so then I can fuse this small concept in any action I need. In one moment, maybe I'm handling the deck like this because I'm in a certain moment. In a moment, I have the deck spread. No? So in this moment, in this way, I feel more free because if the deck is here, instead of getting to the place I know, do something, and then I can work directly from each moment of the present situation.
Yeah.
And so I feel more free. And in this way, of course, you can find as many variations of every move you want, depending on the present. No? And this for me is a key concept. No? Working always in the present, because so the audience is in a certain place with you, and so from there you go naturally to the next place and to the next moment without like asking a moment for yourself. I'm sorry, you know. Okay, now we continue. Now wait a moment.
Yeah.
No, of course I'm exaggerating, no, but this is a different way of working.
You are, but you're not.
Yeah. No, but this is for me it's a interesting way that of working, no, or I don't know if it's interesting or not, but it helped me, helped me to feel free and to
Yeah, no, it's
and to
great.
be always in the to maintain a good relation with the audience all the time, because I have to hide in my, how do you say, no, in my, like I had to hide as less as possible. No, so I'm always with them. Everything happen
Yeah.
openly. Everything is here. Okay.
But everything has to be very well thought through and
Yeah, yeah,
rehearsed,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the result is that really when I see you perform, don't see any moves, right?
Mm.
Because the moves happen in places where they're not actually moves, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. No, and the
so.
concept of hiding for me it's the key, no, because
Mhm.
in magic we are hiding one reality, we are hiding completely one reality from the audience, which is our reality, no, the how Arturo Ascanio called in the internal life, no, which is the method or the strategies. We are hiding this. The audience know that the magician is the magic is almost the art of hiding, no, in some way,
Yeah.
apart, internally, no, of course it's the
Yes.
art of wonder, of impossible, but the spectator, they know that this guy is going to hide something from us.
Mhm.
And of course they are a lot in big alert, no, they say, okay, I don't want the people to hide stuff for me, no, even
Mhm.
in life, when somebody is hiding maybe an emotion, no, we can feel it immediately.
Yeah.
Say, wait a second, I feel a contradiction in this guy.
Mhm.
He's smiling, but he's hiding something. Okay, and so of course, if the focus of the people is in trying to um to understand what is hidden there, and they're very sensitive in perceiving something hiding. Okay, I don't want to be. I don't want the spectators to be there with their minds, trying to analyze or trying to understand. I want the spectator to enjoy the experience. It's like if I invite some friends or some people dinner in my house, I want the people to experience the night. Okay, not to make them think too much about the food. No, maybe I say, I hope you don't get poisoned tonight. And so the spectators,
Right.
so the people say, wait a second, they're eating, but with a mind in a different place, not in enjoying, but like, what did he mean? No, is there something here, or do I have to find something dangerous here? I don't know. I want the spectator, the guest or the spectators is the same, because for me it's like a dinner. It's like a shared moment where I'm offering something to everybody. I
Mhm.
offer something that I like, and I want them only to enjoy, not to analyze.
Yeah.
For me, it's about enjoying, and so the less you hide, really. So it is what we were talking about, no? When everything is open, everything is designed, so really it's not so much hidden. The spectator, they don't feel
Mhm.
something hidden. They don't feel they have to pay attention if someone is dangerous or not, and so they just enjoy. This is my I try to create this situation. Of course, I don't know if every time it's like this, but I try with all my effort to the best quality so this happen, huh?
Yeah. So meaning, so the audience enjoys it, and don't try to like figure out what you're
Yeah,
hiding.
because I
Yes.
try them to not feel anything dangerous,
Uh
any
huh.
danger. Say,
Right.
no, there's no danger. This guy is smiling, this guy is relaxed, and of course, this is also a technique,
Of
no?
course.
Because this is the nice guy. You can trust this guy, and inside you are like doing all the strategy,
That's
And
my
this is
technique
part
as
of the
well.
technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spectators say, this is everything is nice, everything is relaxed, no danger. Yes,
And
we can relax and enjoy. This
And
is
now you also started talking about another part of this technique, because until now we talked a lot about movement, about physical actions, and then you mentioned uh, when you say, "Well, I hope you don't get poisoned."
mm,
So it's also very important what the magician says,
mhm.
and a lot of people don't think about what they say with their magic too
Mm,
much, because magic is magical on its own, right?
yeah,
So it doesn't matter what I say.
yeah,
Uh, which I'm saying I don't think that's true.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but now, so how do you work with like script, but
Mm,
patter,
mhm.
or what do you say?
Yeah. I'm not the kind of guy that works a lot like intellectual, you know. I get bored very quickly in my house, like trying to sit in my table and say, okay, let's see what I can say. I'm not able to do that. Okay, I get bored very quickly. It's not my way of working. My way of working is also it's what I learned from the theater, is to try to create in action. Okay, because it's only in action where I find the right tools and the right ideas. Okay, so of course, one option is to go completely lost with the speaking and say, let's see. But most of the time, I start to try and to practice to try to find ideas with, for example, something that it's fun for me, an idea that is funny for me. Okay, I think, for example, imagine the funny idea for me is to that I can detect the card with smells. Okay, no, maybe this is funny for me, no? This moment, just this moment, I imagine my mind say, ah, I would like to do something like this. Okay, so for example, how I introduce this topic, no? Maybe uh, I can start like to I enter into the theater, smelling, or maybe I get close to the person, I smell and I say, wow, you're incredible smell, no?
Thank you.
And and then you take out the cards. Okay, and finally, okay, you start to find like how to play with this idea, no? No? How to play, and finally performing a couple of times after the first time you try, no? The first time I try, maybe I say, maybe it can be more precise the introduction, or they didn't understand really well what was the idea. Okay, so I try to improve it the next time. No, of course, always after I perform, or while I perform, I'm also analyzing in some way. No, I feel what is wrong and what is right. It's not analyzing, because analyzing is intellectual. No, I feel. I perform, and of course I feel, I say, oh, this moment was awkward, or this moment was confusing, this moment was not good. And then I start always to share, because for me the only way to understand if magic works or not is doing it to the people. In your house, it's impossible to understand if it works or not, because magic has to do with a human, with the interpretation of the human being. Magic doesn't exist by itself. In your house, nothing happened magically. But yeah, so, and so this is my way a little bit.
Yeah, what are your opportunities to try it out? Do you have a show that you perform for people, or do you just go to a bar to perform?
Yeah, I mean, as I told you, I have the luck to live in Madrid, and Madrid is very active people. It's a very active city. No? It's a very active city. A lot of stuff is happening. The people are very open. Most of my best friends are great magicians, incredible magicians. They are masters for me. No, apart from being my best friends, are masters. And so I have many occasions to share with my with other magicians. Okay, with my friends. I have occasion to share when we go outside. The people are very friendly, and so if it happens to do some magic outside, it's very easy to do magic to the people in when you go in some bar or some place. So I can try there, and of course, then I have the luck to also perform a lot in different kind of venues. It can be in like a close-up, formal close-up theaters. It can be in like more like nice restaurants or bars that are many now that offer like some magic show in some small venue inside the restaurant or the bar. And so I have a lot of how you say, a lot of occasion to perform to people, and also to different kind of audience. Great. In different countries. And so this for me is the best way to understand what you do and how you can express yourself in the best way, you know?
And when you create magic, is this always how you do it? Meaning, so you see like a visual, something interesting, and then you start from there, or how? Where do you start?
I mean, of course, there are many different ways, and depending on the moment or the inspiration I have, it can be one or another. No, sometimes, I mean, one of the maybe most direct ways to create magic is start from a classic plot. I say, I like this classic plot. Let's see how I would do it or why I would do it. Most like most important, why I would do this trick. I know that it works for people because it's the classic, it's beautiful, but why should I do it? What's what is the thing that makes me feel pleasure about doing this? No, and if I don't find it, I don't do it. Even if
Uh-huh.
it's the one of the strongest trick I could do to close the show, I don't do it because I can't. I can't find what makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So it can be through a classic, through an idea, or to like also some other piece of art that or visual art or something. I mean, it's very, of course, inspiration is very hard to describe. No, I
Right.
don't.
Where do you take
Uh,
your inspiration? Like, is it in magic or
yeah,
is
in
it?
many different places. But for example, one thing that inspired me a lot is traveling a lot,
Mhm.
having the luck of traveling a lot, meeting many different people, relating, having relation with many different kind of culture and people, and how they see the world, how they behave. For me, this is a very good inspiration. Sometimes can be even the cuisine of a place. For example, recently I spent a couple of weeks in Japan,
Mhm.
okay, with a great Jonio that organized a wonderful experience for me, and and I met incredible magician, incredible masters. It was incredible experience. And for example, there the food, the cuisine for me was like shocking. I mean, like was so strong sensation. I say, wow, like uh, the the experience is so simple, and it goes the experience I'm having. It goes beyond the dish I'm eating.
Yeah.
They can be noodles with simple soy sauce and you dip it, but the combination of ingredients are so amazing that gives you a simple experience that goes beyond what you are eating. And that's, for example, I was also discussing because I recognize this concept with a concept that I was discussing with David Ben.
Mhm.
David Ben, amazing, also inspiration, incredible incredible artist, incredible person, incredible magician, incredible everything. And I was speaking about we were discussing about the concept of the aesthetic emotion, no? And he was saying that it's more or less is this when the experience goes beyond uh, the how is it the material experience, no? For
Right.
example, I don't know how to explain it now, but
Yeah.
for example, with music, uh, you can hear a piece of music and can lead you to a completely different world, no? That goes beyond the material expression of music,
Yeah.
the instrument. You say, why this instrument is bringing me to a memory or to a sensation that is so complex with a guitar. I mean, the guitar has nothing to do with this. It's something around, no? The composition, the it's really when you feel the sensation of art. They say, okay, I'm experiencing art, okay? And even with magic, it's like this. You can see even a simple trick, like a paddle trick, done from a guy that doesn't have a lot of passion for magic, and you say, okay, I don't care about this trick. And then, for example, you can see Alfonso Aceituno, no, in Los Angeles at the Magic Castle doing a paddle routine. It's the most beautiful thing you ever
Right.
experienced,
Right.
no?
Right.
So this means that now the experience goes beyond the trick he's doing,
Yeah.
and like the experience can go beyond the food. They say, yeah, these are noodles, but I'm about to cry. I don't know why. Like you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
for me, for example, this was very inspiring
And
to
I think that
understand.
the freedom that you're talking about and the concept of hiding, that you have to bypass this like intellectual approach of your audience, because I think that when they're really connected to how it's done,
Mm.
it's very difficult to get the emotional
Yeah,
experience,
yeah,
right?
the pleasure. Yeah, yeah,
Right. So you basically have all these obstacles
yeah.
that you have to somehow
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like. It's like Gabby is turning off the light bulbs,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
something like
something like that. Yeah, yeah.
that. You also talked about the classic plots. Is there any classic plot that you explored and made it into yours
Hmm.
that you could show us?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Please.
I can do it. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know if it's a classic or like a new classic. I'm not very precise with the categories because maybe some magician will say, no, no, this is not a classic. This is a modern classic.
But it comes
Okay,
from
but more or less it's one that we recognize.
yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah, this really. I mean, it's a mystery. It was a mystery because now it's solved since many years. Uh, it has to do with the colors, as you can see. I'm preparing just a few cards, so you can.
How about liquids?
You can understand. No, no, no liquid,
no,
no
no
liquid.
liquids. Okay.
No
Good.
liquid. No liquid. Good. You are happy that it's not about liquids. Okay. Uh, yeah, these are should be black, all black. Okay, with no reds here in between. Yeah, let's see, just to make sure. Okay, yeah, all
Yes.
black. You can check, please, because it's important. There are no cards of the other color here, and these are should be all reds. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is just so you can. And these are all blacks. Yeah, everything here I prepared to show you what I mean. Okay, with this little mystery. Of course, I'm handling cards since many years, and at some points I noticed something strange about the cards. I noticed that black cards and red cards are different. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, of course, not the color.
Okay.
I mean, the color, of course, is different, and this is easy to notice at the beginning, no?
Right.
Because you notice that the black color is a little darker than the red.
It is.
But it's not about the colors. It's about something that has to do with identity. Like, it's difficult to explain, but it's like that somehow I had the sensation that the black cards always tend to stay with the black and the red always with the red. It's difficult to explain, but for this, I brought these two cards, so you will follow the whole time
Okay.
where are the blacks, of course, the black with a black queen in this case, and the red cards with the red queen. It's very easy to understand. Okay,
Yes.
red with red and black with black. Red with red, black with black. Red with red, black with black.
Okay.
Red with red, black with black. But if I switch these two cards,
Okay.
only when I touch. Now here I have the blacks. Yes, black, black, and black. And of course, when I touch, it's reds. Red, red, and red. And of course, the mystery gets stronger when I can repeat, because if I change again and I touch again, now here it's again red, 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 and red. And when I touch here, it's black, 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 and black. Of course, you understand that this works with all the cards. Can work also with only one card. If I touch only one, the color match. Even if I switch this card and I touch again, the color match. Always match. I mean, always match. And I could even touch two with the same color and they would match. Or touch two with the same color and they would match. And I could continue doing this the whole day. Of course, I won't because we have to go lunch. But even when there are two cards left, look, red with red and black with black. Red and black. If I switch these two cards at my fingertips without doing anything, only when I touch, always look, black with black and red with red.
Great.
And maybe it's normal you don't believe me. You say, okay, I don't know what this guy is talking about, but it's true because I can take some red and some black. I can shuffle these cards. I can do whatever I want. Doesn't matter the order of these cards, because if I take only three, for example, and I touch with the red, of course they become red. If I touch these three with the blacks, they become black. And even the black card, as soon as I touch them, it's exactly when they change. And
That's really great.
Little mystery. Yeah.
It's a little mystery.
Yeah.
It's a great mystery. That's very cool. Very cool. So
Yeah.
tell us, what of this routine is yours, and how and why did you decide to change it from the original?
First, I really don't know the original, but I know I mean, I saw many version of this plot. I mean, the plot is pretty clear, no? No, follow the leader. The name is pretty pretty interesting. You know, follow the leader. Okay, so the cards they change with the same personality or same identity of their leaders. No? Okay, this is the plot. And the thing is that's what we were discussing before, because sometimes I say, well, it's a nice idea, no? It's one of the effect you learn at some point, different version, and say, this is interesting, this different. And so I was performing this, and I was not satisfied. I say, I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, also, like in my mind, the effect was very clear, like black and red always follow, always. But then in the execution, many times also seeing from other magician, I don't have this sensation. I can understand the idea, but I don't get the sensation where really you could have red with red and black with black. Now you change, and now here are the blacks, here are the reds. And now let's do it again. Why not? I change, and here's half of the deck is red and half is black. This would be pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
They say, wow, it's interesting, no? Half and half of the deck. Huh? And so I start to think about, okay, what is the sensation that I'm lacking when I do it, when I perform? Maybe other magicians through presentation or through special staging, they do it very entertaining. But I wanted to work on the effect, no? Not on the presentation, like on the the plot. And so I started to say, okay, what is the development of this plot, no? Okay, at first I would like to show this effect. The all reds or blacks, when I change, they all change. Okay. And now when they understood what is the base of the story, the base of the plot, they all change. Now I can put some variation to create some dynamics, no? So of course I don't know what is mine, or I mean, of course, there are some classic ideas that I use. There is some inspiration by Dani da Ortiz in some handling, some inspiration of Sosato, Japanese magician, at one point in one phase that I used to bring forward the construction so I can continue. And then also sharing a lot of time and ideas with Paco Rodas. Again, this was one of the challenges we had for a long time, like a little by little, I was fixing, I was changing. But for me, also, the beauty of magic is I think it's something completely alive. And so I never think that an effect I do is finished, because it evolves as I evolve.
Right,
No,
right.
for example, I think like Arturo Ascanio, I think he was saying that the effect is like a painting, and so the painter finally does the last trace, no, and now the painting is finished, like the Mona Lisa, no. So you got better and better, and finally it's perfect. But I don't believe that by my style, no.
Right.
For me, I can change. This will change all my life. If I continue doing this routine, probably will change, always change, because I'm changing. I'm understanding something more. Some people give me an advice, and I say, I didn't see that. Great, great, great.
I was going to ask you how much, just for everyone to see how much effort you put into creating a routine, how long it took to adjust to this, but I don't think you can actually tell, right?
No, no, I don't know, because little by little is the idea. Talking with people, saying, okay, let's start like this. Then they say, what is the ending? I want to find like an extra ending, like an encore.
Yeah.
Okay, this and this. It's a lot of inspiration, a lot of different, of course. I think that in everything we do, there are many masters sharing the effect. Many little inspiration, and so finally it's a combination. Plus your personality that finally gives like the frame to everything, and your what you like and what you feel pleasure. No. Yeah.
Never ends. So here's one fun question. So you've released projects with Vanishing, with Illusionists, with Grupo Cups, with Impossible Company. Which one of these companies was like the best to work with for you?
I don't know. Really, they're all, of course, great company, and they have different kind of spirits. No, one are like very big company with a big production, with a high level of production, of course. which are the
Many ships.
biggest. Yes, of course, a beautiful production, a beautiful distribution, a big reach. No, Impossible Co. It's a smaller company. It's Ponta de Smith. It's Ben Daggers. It's a great team of other magicians creating different kind of projects. No, let's see. Also, it's for a different audience, mainly,
Right.
because for Japan, we are talking Japan, Europe, United States. Uh, um, I don't know really. I mean, I accept the different spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and always I had a great time, like doing collaboration with everybody. Of course, when I do some project with Danny, it's a completely different spirit because he's my friend. We are friends. It's a completely
Of
different.
course.
You can imagine that the process is completely different. The process of recording, of like setting up, is completely different. And so I don't know. I can tell also because I released some project, but I don't have like a big experience releasing a lot of project. No, so it had been like a few collaboration for the moment. No, I hope there will be more in the future.
Of course.
But yeah,
Very
I have
cool.
time.
Now, you're very well known for performing very difficult sleight of hand, like it was nothing,
Mm.
right? Now, um, do you have like advice for people who try to avoid
Mhm.
difficult sleight of hand?
Mm. Yeah, first I mean, when I think about technique, for me the how to say, the paradigm of technique, the how we see technique, okay, sometimes is we see it as something to avoid, something dangerous.
Yeah.
They say no, you don't need technique to do this. So I choose this because I don't need technique. But for example, I don't see it. I absolutely don't see it like this. For me, technique is something necessary to any kind of art. Okay, of course there are different kind of techniques. There are many different tools. No techniques. It's in dance, in painting. If you want to do something, you have to. There are some ways to achieve what you want to express. No, and these are the techniques. For me, really, I don't do a lot of difficult slides. I know magician that from when I try to understand this vision of technique, which when you say difficult slide, for me there are magicians that they do a lot of much more difficult slides where you have to balance stuff on your body or you have very precise to shoot something. For me, these are more difficult. Also, as we discussed before, I try uh, to always work as less as possible because yeah, most of the I feel comfortable with movement. I feel comfortable with technique that has to do with the movement. No, uh, for example, I'm not so comfortable in technique that has to do with memorizing, with doing math in your head, or thinking about orders, or thinking about more intellectual technique. I don't feel comfortable using this technique.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's easier to palm a card or to do a pass or something that to remember which card was at which number and subtract something to get the card in the right position,
I feel like we're exact opposites.
No, but for this, because a different kind of intelligence or different kind of capacity of ability, those skills, I don't know, or one is easier for me or more difficult, one is easier for you, and doesn't matter. But anyways, I like physical techniques, no, let's say, and so for this I developed, or I try to put in practice all the concepts I believe in movement and technique, what we discussed before, to try to fuse the technique with the movement, because if not, uh, you would see me in a performance like work non-stop, no, and so for this I try to make the work as easier as possible for me. So as we discussed before, then my mind is more free, my body is more free, everything is more free, the experience is more free, everything. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know how to. For me, the good advice is not to be scared about technique, because there is nothing to be scared about. I mean, there is nothing to be scared because finally you do a trick and everybody's happy. No, I mean, and also if sometimes there is this fear of the audience catching you and
Uh-huh.
imagining if they catching you, your life ends in this moment. No, nobody will ever be friend with you. No love. Nobody will. I don't know. You are ruined. Your life will ruin if they catch you a palm. No, and for me, when I think about it, of course, I mean, also from my experience, sometimes they catch me a palm. Sometimes I drop a coin or a card, and I'm still here, still alive.
Yeah.
I have still friends. The people don't hate me. The people are happy. They enjoy the performance anyway, even if they catch me a palm. So for this, the best advice is not to be scared about the technique because it makes no sense for me. It's, I mean, finally, the experience of magic is enjoying a shared moment. It's not about them catching you the palm, or if two cards they split. I think that the experience won't be worse.
Right.
You know, the experience is a different thing. This is nothing. I mean, no, and so this is my maybe my advice.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
It also shows what your goal is,
yeah.
what you wanna give.
Yeah, I'm offering something, no? I'm
Mhm.
not challenging, I'm not imposing, I'm offering, and offering what means sharing, no? And so there is no mistake. Imagine if I invite you at my dinner and I maybe it's a little burnt, no? Or I say I'm sorry, no? I I'm sincere, and everybody laugh. I say, okay, don't worry, no? This is, I mean, yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Great. Okay, well, this has been wonderful.
wow,
Um, I wanted to ask you one last thing.
yeah.
The question is, when you perform, what do you want your audience to leave with? What feeling?
Hmm. I talk about
Let's,
it, but like to resume a little bit,
uh-huh.
for me, the yeah, I would like the audience to leave having experienced a safe space of freedom, okay, where they share the moment really of freedom, watching a person express himself uh, freely, okay, and also giving the space to them to express themselves freely. So finally, for me, it's freedom, no, the sensation
Amazing.
of freedom.
So with that freedom, could you show us one last magic effect,
All right.
please?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
let's be free.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see what could I do. I just think quickly. Ah, yeah. I think. Oh, sorry. Uh, sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, sometimes this happens to me. Yeah, sometimes when I forget to split the deck before I shuffle, happens that I shuffle the deck into the hand. Never happened to you?
No.
No? Everybody's different. This is freedom. Yes, this is freedom. But no problem. Wait, I can fix. I not used to check weather because it's a little humid. Maybe the card. Ah, good. Ah, ace. Okay, let's do something with aces. Yeah, we do something with aces.
Yes.
Can be any
Yes.
aces or aces for later. Let's do something
Okay.
with just a card.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you can touch one.
Okay, this one. I'll take this one.
Yes. Okay. You can look at it. The important thing I don't see. You can put it on the table. Okay. I try to guess the card. Okay. No. No. I'm honest. I use the aces. I use the aces because I'm honest. Okay.
Mhm.
I try to use the aces. Let's see. Look. I think it's done.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Very
Wait a
interesting.
second. Oh, maybe it's a six. Six of diamonds. Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, six of diamonds.
Very
Wow, I'm
good.
honest and free.
You are and free. Well, thank you so much, Giancarlo. It was a
Thank
huge
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to Prague. And thank you for giving us your time for this interview. And I hope that everyone watching us on YouTube, everyone who is just now clicking that subscribe button because you want to see more,
Yeah.
especially if you got all the way here,
Yeah.
that you will, that you are inspired to find your freedom in your expression and Danny's back with us.
Yes.
Your freedom of expression.
Yeah,
And,
freedom of expression. Exactly.
and also that you, as an audience member watching magic, will many times experience the freedom of watching someone who will allow you to be yourself and be free. Thank you so much, Giancarlo.
Thank you
You're
very much.
fantastic. And
Thank you.
let's spend more time in Prague together. Let's go for
Yes.
lunch.
Let's go.